it's like
Your given name.
it's not my given name too.
What's your
I changed my name when I was in the class seventh. So
Really?
it's like this is the name I chose to give myself when I was in class seventh.
You gave your name Gaurav.
Yeah, I chose this name. I gave some of the options to my parents. So
So you.
the name they gave me was
Mhm.
kind of a little bit girlish name. They bring a first letter of the name.
Mhm.
Somebody I don't know who brings. So they bring a first letter of the name. So the parents have to decide to bring a name from that first letter. But when I got into school, so the preschool was fine.
Mhm.
But when I started getting older, then I started feeling that it's a funny name.
Well, I mean, were people picking on you about it?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. The most embarrassing moment was I actually changed the school for that. I was in class sixth in a school in Delhi, and this is why I changed the name because the teacher called my teacher. You know, we every class has its own. I don't know how to say it's their own teacher
Um.
who represent each section of the
Mhm.
class. So she find it to be funny. Fine, that's it's okay. I find it to be funny, but she called me to another class just to just to say my name in front of everybody, and
The teacher brought you like
she
and
called.
wanted to embarrass you.
Yeah, she just wanted to make fun of it.
Wow.
Maybe it was a joke for her or whatever it is.
Or maybe her colleagues.
I don't know. I don't remember that much. What I remember is it. I felt kind of not embarrassed. I just felt kind of sad.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know my feelings that much that time. But yeah. So I came home and I told my mom, it's like I want to change my name and I also want to change the school. So I changed the school. Not precisely for this only reason. Also,
Right.
I didn't like the school.
Right.
And I changed the school and I changed the name. So when I went to the class seventh, so I chose my name for myself, which is called Gaurav. Although Gaurav was kind of different name that back then, but now there's so many Gauravs.
Is there like a meaning behind Gaurav?
Yeah, Gaurav means to be proud.
To be proud. Cool.
Yeah, like
Cool.
I can be a Gaurav of my parents.
Mhm.
So Gaurav means proud.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
That's really interesting. I've never heard someone changing their name when they were like in
no, this is not the only
grading
time.
school.
But this is not the only time I changed my name. Then I went. So my name Michael now. I've been living with Michael name more than I've been living with Gaurav
Gaurav.
name. Gaurav is my
Oh.
passport name. Yeah.
Okay.
But Michael is the name which I have to take in China when I went to China. So back in 2002, 3, I went there and they couldn't pronounce my name Gaurav. They started to call me Gari, Guru. I don't know, like different names. So one of the factory owner,
Mhm.
since I wear black mostly,
Mhm.
he started calling me Micah. Micah in Chinese means Michael. Like Jackie Chan is not Jackie Chan, Jack Ha Chan, you know.
Oh, Jack Hutchins.
It's Jack Ha, it's not
Uh-huh.
Jackie Chan. So my name, he started calling me Micah. So I got the name Micah. But when I started partying there, started meeting foreigners there, they, so I asked the guy, what is the English version of Micah? He said Michael. It's okay. So started calling myself Michael. Then it got stuck.
There's a lot of people who come from overseas, they're immigrants or they're migrants, and their name ends up being Michael. It's funny. I mean, when you said China, usually a lot of guys from China that go to the States, for example, they end up being
Again,
Mike.
I wasn't thinking why I'm
Mhm.
keeping my the only I was only happy that my factories could pronounce my name.
Sure, sure.
So if I could, I was happy with Michael, but that's it. I wasn't thinking that I'm even going to live in China for that long, but I
Mhm.
end up living in China for 17 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What brought you to China?
I was a DJ. I started my career as a
Yeah,
DJ when I
okay,
was
yeah.
15 years old, and then I was having a event company. So I was using all these stage lighting. So back then, only European brands were there.
Okay.
They were not much of a Chinese brand. But my brother had an internet cafe. So I was, I was back in 1999. So I was on internet all the time. So I saw some websites. Websites were kind of a thing that back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw some website which was selling some products, and I checked the price, Also, email just came that
Oh, yeah.
time. Hotmail just popped up.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent them an email, and I got reply, and checked the prices. So I said, wow, the prices are crazy. The price which I was buying the lights for my event company, I could buy 12 of those from China at
Yeah.
the same price. Then I went to Hong Kong. From Hong Kong, I took a visa. I went to China, and I visited some factories. So I imported first shipment, and I could sell at a good profit.
Your lighting company. So you run that lighting company now,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
It's still
IMAX,
up and
IMAX.
running.
Yeah, it was. I started IMAX lighting company in 2003, before even IMAX as a cinema was even.
Wow.
Even
IMAX Cinema. I've been to IMAX Cinema.
before IMAX cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's spelled the same, IMAX.
It's spelled the same.
Okay.
But I think they copied me. I
Did
didn't
they-
copy them.
Have they ever tried to reach out to you before they
No,
did?
now I get issues when I try to register brand IMAX outside India.
Mm-hmm.
Even I start to get issues in China when
Wow.
I'm exporting from China, because IMAX has become famous as a cinema brand.
Yes, a cinema, yeah,
So-
sure. IMAX, yeah. The first time I ever visited an IMAX theater, I don't know what year it was, but it was like, I think I saw to see the Hulk, the first Hulk
Yeah, I
movie.
think IMAX as a cinema started back in 2007, 8.
Okay.
I think that was the first time.
Yeah.
First movie I watched in IMAX was Superman
Okay.
from, what is this? Jack.
DC.
The director, Jack.
Jack.
It's a very famous director of 300 movies. 300, the movie 300.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I can't think the name off the top of my
I forget
head.
his name.
Jack.
He's
Wow.
the one who recently just came up with this, the Rebel Moon movie. Jack Schneider.
Jack Snyder. Oh yeah. Okay. Jack Snyder. I
Jack
watched
Snyder.
Rebel Moon, the first part, but like the half part.
The second part just came out.
Yeah, it looks. It's cool. It's cool.
It is
Yeah.
I like how he directs the movie.
Yeah.
The visuals are nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like Rebel Moon is kind of like in the world of Dune, like it would be on another planet, you know.
Yeah, that's what it is about.
Yeah, it's kind of like it kind of has that storyline where the imperial majesty,
Yeah.
they're going to different planets and trying to like get their taxes and stuff like this, and these people are like, nah, we're not trying to pay you the taxes, which is cool. I liked it. Have you seen Dune 2?
Dune 2, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
yeah, it was cool.
It's better than the first.
I thought the first one actually was better.
First.
I thought the visuals, I thought the action was better in the second one, but I don't know, for some reason I thought the first one
I
was.
find the second two, the storyline to be holding. I could focus. It was holding me there. I could see.
In the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was kind of sometimes distracting.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, welcome officially.
Thank you for
Welcome
having
to the Essence Extracts Origins. You know, where did it all start? You're here in Budapest, but I imagine you weren't born and raised here.
Of course, I don't look like Hungarian. Yeah, I was born in India,
Mm-hmm.
and
What part of India?
Delhi. I was born in Delhi.
Okay.
And my school, my early studies were there. Then I got into teaching, early career.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished my studies. Then I started traveling. I went to London for some marketing course.
Mm-hmm.
I did some sales and marketing course online. That back then, sales and marketing was a thing. You could do study. Like now, AI is a thing.
Yeah.
Back then, internet was a thing.
Sure.
So you need to learn about sales and marketing on internet. So I learned that. That was not taught in the schools.
Mhm.
So you have to learn on other schools or
Different
institutes.
Different outlets, yeah. Yeah.
So I learned that, and then I got into. I just went with the flow.
Yeah.
I started as a DJ. It just
Mhm.
clicked.
How did the DJ thing start? I mean, I know people from India, they're usually very in tune with with technology, whether they're building things or whether they're controlling things, you know, whether they're fixing things up and things of that nature. What was your kind of inspiration to get you into this lane as far as technology? Because I mean, you're dealing with it every day.
No, I was into music. I was an
Hmm.
MTV freak.
MTV,
I was MTV,
TRL.
yeah, MTV. I was MTV freak, and I was, yeah, Asia Top 20 or whatever. I was
Hmm.
just there, like almost. If I'm awake, if I'm in home, I'm watching MTV. Nothing else. So the music was, I was passionate about
Yeah.
music. So and collecting music was a thing back then. Is you cannot get if you know a song from MTV, is you need a talent to even find that
Sure.
song.
Sure.
So sometimes I have to go almost another part of the town. This is almost when CDs just came, but still,
Cassettes.
so I have to take an empty CD, go to another part of the town, find that music shop, so who will sell me that only song, because he traveled abroad and he got that song, so he had that song in the whole town. So we
On
go
a
to,
CD
yeah,
or on a
we take a
cassette.
blank CD there
Uh-huh.
to him. He will not sell the master because he went to maybe America somewhere and he got the master album, because it's
Ah,
not easy. It's
okay,
not easy.
okay,
It's not
okay,
easy to
okay, okay.
find back
Mm-hmm.
then. So I have to go to him and get my song recorded. So by the time I was 15, 16, I had a huge collection of music. I got an offer from some friends, since they know I have a lot of music, to
Mm-hmm.
play for a party for New Year's. And I went to my dad and asked him, like, I want to DJ in a party where some thousand people were there. Thousand is a very small number for India.
Yeah, I was gonna say, of
Yeah,
course, of course.
it was for a New Year's party.
Wait, was it like a wedding
No,
or
it was a
just a
New Year
regular
party
party?
for, I don't know, some people there.
Okay.
This was just organizer did some party, not a wedding event.
Mm-hmm.
I got into wedding event after, but this is the first event which I did. So I went to my parent and to my dad and asked him, like, give me some money. So I went to buy Cam. Cam was a mixer. Cam KM
Okay.
950.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long vertical mixer, 4 channel. Maybe sampler was there, but no effects and all. So I bought this Cam mixer and a normal CD players.
Right.
And I prepared. I tapped my hand and put all the songs BPM. I wrote the BPM of each songs. So when I'm mixing it, so I have
So
to,
wait, you were counting the BPM by
yeah,
your
because yes,
hands.
because DJing
It
is
was
all
an
about
automatic
mixing.
thing.
But if I'm mixing from a normal CD player,
Wow.
I cannot adjust the pitch. If I cannot adjust the pitch, I can mix the song. The same song has to be in the same BPM. Otherwise, I have to find a drop, an intro somewhere where I can mix. Like it's just DJing thing.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I've dabbled a little bit. I have a set at home,
So that was
but
that was
hmm
fun part, like, because even that play has a delay. When I want to mix another song, the play has a delay. So I have to play that song almost a fraction before that song so it can match. Okay, bar mixing was not even a thing. So I just
yeah,
have to even beat match. I was
you got to
focused
know
on
the
beat
you got to
matching.
know the
Yeah, just
song.
beat matching was giving me thrill. If I could manage to get a beat match on those CD players, it was making me happy.
Does the beat match have to be like you said BPM? So that's what you
Beats
mean, beat
beats per
match,
beats
beats
per
per
minute,
minute,
beats per
right?
minute.
But the beat match, it's not a beats per minute match. It's more like a sound match, just
No,
like the tempo match.
it's about a song. If
Okay.
imagine a car running at a speed of 90
Mm-hmm.
or 100, let's say, and I'm next to you. So for you and me to synchronize at the same speed, I also have to be at 100.
Right.
Then we are synchronized. If I'm 99, I will always be a little bit behind.
Right.
So we call it in a technical term, if a beat is not matched, it's called a horse riding. It will sound like tuk 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 tuk.
Got you.
It's,
Got yeah. One beat here, one beat there.
yeah.
You
So it
just
has
gotta.
to be, bar mixing is another thing, but beat
Mm-hmm.
matching is, so it has to be on a kick. The snare has to be on snare.
So it literally has to be like the same drum beat at the same
No,
time, the same snare beat
it
at the
can be
same time.
different drum beat. What I want to say, the speed of the
The
song,
speed of
of
the
the
song.
track,
Okay. Okay.
if it has to be matched. Now the modern CD players, it has a beat sync. You just press the beat
Got you.
sync,
Okay.
yeah, so nothing.
Got you.
But back then we have to do everything manually.
Manual.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because you talk about your experience back in the day, and it reminds me. It takes me back to when like Grandmaster Flash was mixing on the
Yeah,
on the vinyls and stuff like
he's a
that.
legend. Okay, I was more into turntables.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned more. I was more into beat juggling than of scratching, because scratching I find it to be disturbing
Okay.
unless you do it perfectly good. Is sounding awful.
Mm-hmm.
But beat juggling is good.
And what's that? What's the
Beat
difference?
juggling is all about random flash. What he
Got
does
you.
is Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They do play with the beat, like they put two tracks and probably just make it sound a little different, a little bit more melodic.
Mm-hmm.
Just change the feeling of the song,
Yeah.
keeping it. It's fun. It's
That's
fun.
cool. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I love music as well. Grew up in New York, so that's like that background with everything like that. And I haven't gotten into DJ, but whenever I'm home in the States, we have a set at home because my mother's husband, he does like gigs from time to time, but he has a set at home, and I'm always like playing around on it. I don't
No,
understand
I
all the
didn't have
knobs and things like
access
that.
to all those things. If
Hmm.
I was born in, like, Japan was crazy about
Yeah,
turntablism,
the
Yeah,
underground rap.
America. If
Hmm.
I was born in somewhere where I had the access to turntables or music or
Hmm.
even the school, or so I could be more into scratch DJ, or
Sure,
I still could be into
sure.
DJing.
That's cool. That's cool. Now you took your DJing career. It started in China.
No,
Oh, it started
it
in
started in India.
India,
Yeah.
but you took it to China.
No, I didn't took DJing to China. I took my lighting business to China. I went to China to buy lights
Hmm.
for my event company. DJing is
Okay.
another side of
I
it.
thought you said I thought you said when you were in China you started to DJ.
I
So,
started to do DJ in China, but that's because I was living there and I got some offers to play in clubs.
hmm,
Same like here now.
sure,
I'm
sure.
getting some offers to play in some clubs.
Hmm.
So I'm playing in some clubs because it's there. It never dies.
Music is music.
Even
People
if I
love
make
music.
money from other businesses which I do, which is also related to same thing,
Hmm.
but DJing is love. It's
Yeah.
first love. It's
Hmm.
just I always want to do it.
Yeah.
It's all about, it has to justify the time it takes from my life to, it should make me happy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
If it's making me stressful, if it's bothering my business, then it takes the fun away.
I mean, have you ever been in a stressful situation when it comes to, I don't know, planning a track, planning a mix, planning a venue? Has it? I mean, it hasn't always been like a smooth sailing thing, right? A smooth sailing journey.
Depends on where you're playing.
Okay,
Like a wedding party is always stressful back in India.
sure.
Maybe not now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking because now the DJs, they make a stage and all. But when I was teaching in wedding parties, we were on the same level. So if they're paying us to DJ for them, especially the owners, whoever was hiring us, they think they own us. So sometimes they ask me to play same song again and again and again and again. So there's been a time when I have to play one Punjabi song which, because he's drunk, the host is drunk, and he wants to dance with his friends, so he wants to keep repeating it. I said, okay. So, like, what I'm doing here, if you just want to play the same song, why don't you just come here? I will tell you what is play
Yeah,
and cue. Just play it again and again. So sometimes I was just putting it on repeat, and I was just having my
I'd
meal.
be
Yeah.
dancing and hanging out with them too.
Yeah, but that was like, because they don't care, they don't understand DJing or something.
Hmm.
They think it's some guy who's there to
Control the
do
music.
what we want him to do.
Hmm.
So taking the choice away, like for DJs, request is a big thing. Some DJ booth back then, we even have to write down a signboard, no request,
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
request.
Tell me, that's a good thing to bring up because many times DJs, and maybe you can shed some light about it. Maybe it's a copyright issue, maybe it's some trademark issue, or whatever the case may be. Why do some DJs, a lot of them to be honest, they don't play up to date music? Now, if something drops, if Drake drops, or if Kendrick Lamar drops, someone of this nature drops music, and everybody obviously knows about it, they go to a club, and the DJ's not playing this music. What is usually this
I think it depends on
issue?
country to
Why?
country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. Now I think you can play
Mm-hmm.
because the songs are owned by the artist, and I think you can play now. But back then, early times,
Mm-hmm.
so these songs were owned by a record label, and they don't allow DJs to play in clubs or in wedding parties. So you need to have a special license. Back in
Oh.
India, we used to have public PPL license, public performance license. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
going to play a song in a public place, you need to have a license. So license is from some government agency.
Mm-hmm.
A part of that goes to all these uh, companies,
Distribution
yeah,
agencies and
companies.
things like that, right?
But I don't think so. It's there anymore
Mm-hmm.
now.
Some of them are just lazy, I guess.
Mm, maybe they don't. Some of them are lazy. I don't know. Maybe they just want to play the famous songs. They don't.
No, I
They
mean,
don't.
no, of course. And I meant, I don't know, they were just on my head because they're making music right now. But of course, the famous songs. But even some of these DJs, they're not even playing like the famous songs. They're not playing the music that people can sing to. They're not playing, and I'm not talking about because you do a certain type of genre.
Yeah.
You do a certain type of genre. I'm talking about like in a wide scale, even if it's like top 40 or if it's hip hop, R&B, you know what I'm saying? If it's Afro beats, Afro beats is a little bit different. It's more trendy, so people are actually playing the stuff that's coming out. But you find if you go to like a hip hop party or R&B party, these DJs are not playing like the up to date music, and people
Okay.
know the music.
You're saying from the side of from your side of
Yes.
speak, but from the DJ side, we
Uh-huh.
we we don't want to play famous songs. Most of the good DJs, they don't want to play famous songs
Okay.
because we call them jukebox DJs. If
Ah,
if
okay.
if I have to play something which everybody can find, it's like what makes me special. So we
Mm-hmm.
find special versions of the songs, or we try to be different. We try to be something. We find our own identity, our own genre. On That's why for DJing, if you okay, you can love. I love all music. I love hip hop. I love house. I love
Mm-hmm.
tech house. I love minimal. I even like love jazz. I love old retro songs. I can play all those songs.
Sure.
But if I start playing all those songs, it's like my
Identity.
I'm confusing people. Like, so you have to, as for a DJ, you have to stick to what you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to master that. It's something called, you want to be jack of everything, or you want to be master of one thing. It's better
Mm-hmm.
to be master of one thing.
Got you. Maybe in that space.
Sorry.
In that space, do you believe you have to be a master of one?
You
And
have to be. People need to understand
mm-hmm.
who you are as a DJ. Like, there is a tech house DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I say you David Guetta now,
You know his
like, he's gonna
identity.
play
Mm-hmm.
EDM music. If I say you like other some Marco Corolla came,
Mm-hmm.
so he's a minimal house DJ. So people can relate to DJs by the name. So they, because they stick to one kind of music, even they love all the music.
No, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Um, DJing. I mean, I feel like the topic is trendy, obviously always. So I want to keep asking you more about in this space in this realm because I think the viewers would also be interested in this. So when you hear of Skrillex, when you hear of David Guetta, when you hear of
No,
whoever,
I don't hear them so much, but I know
but you know who they are. You know
I
who they
know them.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't know, Black Coffee.
No, he's my favorite now.
Okay.
Again, I've been DJing from very long
Mm-hmm.
time. So so music, Afro house
Mm-hmm.
is a thing now.
Yes.
It's from last, even it wasn't even there back before 2005.
Sure.
I think Black Coffee is he the one who even made this genre
Mm-hmm.
as Afro house. Before there was nothing like Afro house. But when I started DJing, it was more of a retro,
Okay.
like back in India. If special parties, a wedding party is a different thing. You have to play Indian music.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to play in a club, either it was retro or they were you can call it EDM, electronic music. And then came, so I was a it started as an electronic DJ, because if I want to play, I have to play some retro party, some EDM party. That's it. But then I fell in love with turntables.
Mm-hmm.
That is when I got into hip hop music.
You played hip hop
I
music.
played hip hop.
Wow.
So most of my, from 2000 to 2010, I played hip hop.
That was a good time for hip
Yeah,
hop
yeah.
too.
But then in China, I got offers in China again. Again, it depends, era to era. Then I started playing tech house, minimal, and EDM.
Mm-hmm.
But now, from last 4 5 years, I like to play Afro
Yeah,
house.
it's amazing. It's amazing sound. It's amazing sound. What is the life? What is the life of a DJ? I mean, obviously you're doing things other than DJing all day, every day, but like when you get into that zone, when you're at the party, when you're at an event, what is the what is the response, or what is the response, or what's the feedback of being a DJ? Like if you when you walk up to someone and you say, hey, they ask you what you do, you say I do this and this and that, and I'm a DJ, right? I'm sure everybody wants to know as well. And we'll get into the relationship stuff. Like being a DJ is also like a very sexy thing. You know what I'm saying? You're controlling someone. You're controlling not even one person's mood and vibe, but you're controlling the masses, right? And that's power. What are some types of, or what experiences have you had personally with being a DJ?
No,
I'm
I
a
didn't know
DJ.
what is the dark side of
What
being
is the
DJ.
dark? What's the dark side? Because we see it as you're just out there, mixing. You're out there party, having a good time with everybody. But like, what is the, kind of like the wear and tear on somebody
But it's
if
not a
you.
dark side. Okay,
Hmm.
what I can say is DJing is not about that 1 hour we play.
Yeah.
People can think, okay, you're just charging some money just because you're going to play for 1 hour, but that's
Right.
not 1 hour. DJing is a whole time thing. If you
Hmm.
want to do professional DJing, you have to be into music, downloading, finding music, listening to music. Whatever genre you are a
Hmm.
DJ, you have to focus. You have to listen to that music. You have to be updated. You have to keep finding. You have to keep your playlist updated. You have to find the best. And if you are a talented DJ, if you like mixing, okay, there are DJs who just wanna play songs with the simple mixing
Hmm.
because they just wanna play songs. But then there are DJs who are a little bit passionate about teaching as a skill, which I like to do. Then we transitions like,
It's more artistic,
yeah, it's,
maybe.
it's a risk you take.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to take a risk. You can just do a bar mixing, easy
Hmm.
mixing with simple thing, and people will like it, and it will sound good.
Yeah.
But if you want to take a level up, you have to be a bit creative, which then the risk comes. You have to create loops, you have to create effects and all,
Hmm.
and you need to master it because it when you're doing that, it still have to sound good,
Exactly.
and sometimes you can fuck it up.
Hmm. You got to keep people moving. You got to keep people
Yeah, so
interested.
that's a
Yeah.
risk. That's a risk
Yeah,
you
yeah,
take.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I didn't mean the dark side. I mean, not the dark side, but it's like when me as an athlete, someone else as I don't know, a lawyer for example, on the outside, there's always this perception. There's always this stigma. So it's like, what is it really like the day in the life, or what is it really like once you guys, press stop on your set? What is it like going to the backstage, dealing with the people from the venue, dealing with the people for your next venue and things of that nature? Because people don't get to see that side of it, But
It
it's
is it is work.
yeah,
DJing, if you want to take it professionally, it is
mm-hmm,
work. It is tiring.
yeah,
It's for others, maybe like for normal people think DJing is fun. You get to meet some girls and
mm-hmm,
blah blah thing. But in reality, is not that. It's like if you take it professionally, it's just like another
right,
profession. So you get tired.
mm-hmm,
Longer sets, you're standing in one place and you have to prepare set. All those things is tiring.
mm-hmm,
It's not okay. If you love DJing, it's fun.
mm-hmm,
But if you're taking it just to make money, it can be tiring.
sure. How can you tell if a DJ is not really playing his music live?
If he's not playing his music
Live.
live,
Yeah.
oh, it's easy for us. It's easy for us
Just
to
realize
see,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe not for a normal person.
Mm.
Like I can just see if he's mixing a song because as soon as I hear even a slightest of a kick or a snare from another song, I can even guess the songs most of the time.
Really?
If he's playing a kind of genre which I'm into,
Mm-hmm.
I can guess that song which is gonna play. And if I'm listening to the same DJ again and again, I can even sometimes I can guess the song which is gonna mix next. Because most of the DJs when they keep playing, especially DJs who play too often, they uh, they find the best transition of a song with certain songs
Mm-hmm.
and then they stick to it so you can, and it's a good thing, it's a good thing because you're playing in different venues.
Yeah.
Once you find that this track mixes best with this track, so you stick to it. So if I'm watching, listening to that DJ, I'm following that DJ, I can even guess
That's
what he's
crazy.
gonna play next.
That's right. And maybe sometimes some songs are used for certain types of transitions, depending on the genre.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, DJing is all about talent, key
Yeah.
mixing, bar mixing.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
That's cool.
In short, it has to be in groove.
Mm-hmm.
In short, I
Yeah,
don't
keep the
I
groove.
don't really want to follow the technicalities so much. All I care about is has to be in groove.
Nice. Nice. You spoke about love. You brought the word love up, right? And you brought the word girl up.
Right.
Usually DJs are known for being like rock stars and like party animals and things of that nature. Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not in a relationship.
Okay. But as far as relationships, and this is kind of also like a trending topic, and I like to get people's perspective on relationships, especially in this day and age where everything is just kind of like going haywire. What is your perspective on love? What is your perspective on relationships in this present day and time?
Love had a different meaning in my life at different stages of my life.
Mm-hmm.
When I was young, love was about infatuation. I could fall in love every day.
Oh, you're not. Well, you keep trying to date yourself. You keep when I was young, when I
Yeah,
was
of
this
course.
and
I'm
that.
not that young. I mean, when I say, I mean like when I was in 20s.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get attracted to girls, and I think I'm in love because it's just attraction. But I don't know. It was a new thing to me, so so for me, I was just falling in love every day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not love. Like what I think love is now is people confuse sexual attraction or liking towards somebody, or they just like a person, or they think it's love. Love is not about if you love somebody as a transaction, that I love this person and that person loves me back. As soon as that person doesn't love you back, or you choose to leave you, or you love somebody else, suddenly you don't love them, or you don't want to love them. Your love changes for them because they don't want to love you back.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't believe. If you love somebody, you love somebody,
Yeah.
uh, irrespective of they love you or don't love you.
How do you feel about people who? Do you think so? Do you think it's valid if someone loves multiple people, let's say at one time?
I think
You can.
you can love you can love more people at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
but not the same love for two people. You cannot love same way to two people.
What would be a discrepancy? What would be?
If you take love as a word,
Mm-hmm.
you can love your mother, you can love your father, you can love your wife. So it's the same love.
Mm-hmm.
Love is love, but it's not the same love. So even for a woman, you can love two women at the same time, but not the same love. I don't believe in that quote which they say if you love two-person, you should choose you should choose the second person, because if you're really in love with the first person, you'll never fall in love with the second person. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. It depends on what way you love the first person.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, the unconditional love, you kind of mentioned it before, like the transactional love, that's not unconditional love. And I think most of us try to love unconditionally, but we're such emotional beings. And once someone upsets us or once we have some type of miscommunication or something, it like kicks us out of this love or whatever the love that you think you have for this person. And then, I was having a conversation
Because most people are loving with a condition.
with the condition.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you also you cannot love a same person forever. You have to keep falling in love with the same person. That's what I believe. You have
Mm-hmm.
to keep falling in.
Mm-hmm.
If you choose, you can make a choice to stay with the same person forever. But to love the same person, you have to love them again and again, because people change. You
Yeah.
change. So you have to love the new version of them. They have to love the new version of you. So more than love, the choice is more important. So
Sure.
that is why a mature person can be in a stable relationship, but youngsters, they jump.
They jump, yeah.
They jump because they think, oh, now I'm not in love, or he's not in love. Something has changed. Yes, something has changed. Time has changed. Time has moved on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the same person. Nobody's same. I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something is, I've learned more thing about life. About,
So what do you say about stable relationships? I mean, to have a stable relationships with the possibility of loving someone else from day to day, technically, what brings or what establishes a stable relationship? I know in the old school terms, it's you just gotta grudge through it. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta fight. You gotta have tunnel vision. But I think in this time and age, this day and age, there's so much opportunities. There's so much options. There's so many things we're being bombarded with, and it's kind of like we're human, so we may be call it distracted by things that we like. We might not see this blue thing, we might have saw this blue thing yesterday, but we see it now and we're interested in
yeah.
this blue thing. You know, how does someone understand that I can settle down with this one person, or come to grips, or come
So
to
you're
a
talking
mind?
about how to have a stable relationship.
Not to have a stable relationship, because I think like once you make a decision, then you can have that stable relationship. But how do you come to that decision with all these things kind of happening at one time
Around you,
around you? Yeah.
like distractions.
Okay, so you call it distractions.
So a friend of mine once told me,
Mm-hmm.
like, I was in a relationship, and I said I like the girl, but somehow when I go out to club, I like other girls, And he told me, like, bro, if you will not look around, if you're in a relationship and you want to be in a relationship, if you'll not look around, you'll not fuck around. So if you want to be in a relationship stable and you want to be exposed in a scenarios or in a atmosphere where opportunities can come, then chances are, okay, maybe not in a healthy relationship you will not cheat,
Mm-hmm.
but relationships are not the same. Sometimes you will have a fight with your girlfriend. So if you're keeping the doors open, if you have access to things, you will have a fight with your wife, girlfriend.
Right.
So that moment, people who are not strong enough mentally, they can they can cheat or they can make mistakes.
Or make and that's the justification because they have a fight or
Yeah, they can
something.
justify
Mm-hmm.
their own thing, but it was always inside them. They always wanted to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave it a reason. So, because if they never want to cheat, they will never expose themselves to that kind of atmosphere. If you're in a relationship, you make a choice, then never be in a places where or don't get make yourself available to
Mm-hmm.
certain
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
scenarios or situations.
Yeah. Do you think our current time, our present time is spoiling people that might be like fundamentally, let's say non-cheaters or not people that have a tunnel vision or more serious person? Do you think what's happening in the world is spoiling them, kind of like turning them into people that look around and scan all the time?
You cannot clap with one hand. So cheating goes the same way.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a friend, he comes to you, my girlfriend cheated. If you go and talk to the girlfriend, so it's a different story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So nobody wants to. If people are really in relationship and nobody wants to cheat, really they want to cheat. If something happened bad, it's not just only one person's fault. It's also the other person's fault in some way or the other. It's
I
never.
I think that's a really hard pill to swallow for someone, especially if someone's hurt. They can't grasp or understand or realize that they've had a influence in their hurting.
No, if you made
You
a
know.
wrong choice in the beginning, okay,
Mm.
you were in a relationship with somebody who was never in a relationship with you.
Mm.
You thought that she is or he was in love with you, but
Yeah.
they were never. They were just living a fantasy or a
Mm-hmm,
thrill.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You named it love, or but that was never love. But if two mature person, if they are really in love and they want to call it off,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, it will. they cannot cheat
Right.
suddenly eh, because they're matured enough to understand what they're doing. So
Right.
if something like that happens, they come to that point, the other person have some hand in it.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. I agree. How's your experience? So you came to Hungary. How long have you been in Hungary?
Uh, I came to Hungary for the first time in 2017.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, but that time was
Mm-hmm.
just a visit as a vacation for
Mm-hmm.
a few days. But I've been living in Hungary from 2020,
Okay. You were here during the pandemic?
before
Oh,
pandemic.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, beginning of 2020.
Actually, I was
Yeah.
supposed to go back to China.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking to move to Hungary like few years after the pandemic. Like around, I was planning to stay few more years in China.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a ticket back to China in 2020 March,
Wow.
which had to be cancelled
Mm-hmm.
because I was stuck here. I had an apartment here, the first apartment which I bought in 2017. So I got the key. I came to actually take the key for that apartment.
Okay.
It was all furnished and all. I came there and I was stuck here. Okay, I could fly back to India initially, but the scene was Europe was the best place to stay that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Asia was not the place you should go.
Right. Ground zero.
So I stayed
Yeah.
here,
Yeah. Continuing your DJ career here. Tell the people about your projects now, any upcoming projects, and yeah, what does Mike have coming in the pipeline? We're in the summer now, so obviously there's got to be some stuff coming in the summer. What's coming in the summer? What's coming in the fall? And possibly for the
yeah.
years
No,
to
I'm not
come.
planning it like
Mm-hmm.
so deeply,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, DJing, I will stick to DJing now. I will do some production. I will produce at least few songs in next 6 7 months.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, I will
nice.
release few tracks, probably a mashups or a version of some. Then I will release maybe next year I will release few of my original tracks. That's the plan, which I'm trying to.
Ah, okay.
That's where my mind is focused.
Mm-hmm.
About DJing is there. If whenever I get the chance to DJ, I will do DJing if it's fun. I don't want to do it too much to because I want to keep it fun. So
Okay.
more than twice or 3 times a month is too much.
Mm-hmm.
That is enough. And I recently launched a series of Afro House, Afro Tech, since I'm playing that kind of music.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to launch a series of that kind of music. So I launched a series called That's House Music, which is we did a launch party. You were there.
Yes. That's house music.
Yeah,
Yes.
not the only person. There are a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
involved in this.
Right.
Uh,
But you're bringing the series to Budapest,
no,
correct?
this is not a series from somewhere else. I created. This is just something I
That's I
decided
thought you
to.
said there's other people in the world.
No,
There's other
when I
people in the
people from here,
world.
people from here who are helping me. It's not like I'm the only
Right.
person.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'm just investing. I'm the
Right.
only investor
Mm-hmm.
in that series, but I'm not the only one who is should take credit for the
Yes,
success.
but I mean, we're talking to you right now, and this is something that you're a part of, so I thought that would be
Yeah, you
good
can say
to,
I'm part of
you're a
that
part of
series.
it, yes, and it's continuing your career, it's giving you a platform, exposure to people who might not be familiar with Afro House as well. I think I love the music, and I think anyone that's into
I think
melodic,
now people are
yeah,
Afro House is a
more
thing
people
right
getting
now.
hip to it. More people
Yeah,
getting hip to it
I think
for sure, definitely. And I love the project. I was at the last one. It was a dope vibe. You had um, DJ from Germany.
not Germany,
Where
from
was she from?
Serbia. Yelis,
Oh,
Yelis,
from
Yelis,
Serbia.
Yelisaveta.
Yeah, from Serbia. She was dope. Um, I forget the other guy's name. The black guy.
George Jr.
George
Yeah,
Jr.
he's amazing.
He was fly.
He's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, he was fly.
He's a friend of mine.
Yeah, I like that. I like the music, and I actually started getting into like electro, techno, house when I lived in Istanbul.
Hmm.
And they bring a lot of world-renowned DJs, really popular DJs out there to do parties, and I was just like, I like this. This is some vibes. And actually, the first time I heard Afro house, I was on a boat in Istanbul, and this music was playing, and I was just like, what is this? I just couldn't stop moving. I was vibing.
Afro house is a vibe.
Yeah.
Techno is a thing.
Yeah.
Every music is a vibe, but
Mm-hmm.
Afro house is different. That's
I
why
was
it's
vibing.
a thing now.
Yeah.
Afro house, okay, I play Afro tech is organica, but generally is that thing isn't you can say it's in fashion now or is a
Yeah, it's
thing for these
fashion,
days. Yeah,
trend. Yeah,
yeah,
sure,
it's a
sure,
trend.
sure, sure. That's cool. That's cool. So, in this show, I asked this question to everybody, right? We spoke about your origins from India, your travels to educate yourself, your business, your IMAX, your lighting business in China, how that developed, and you ultimately
I'm bringing the lighting business to Europe too.
you bring the lighting
Yeah,
the business
I'm
here. Okay,
starting a brand called True Light.
okay,
I don't want to sell lighting here, my IMAX lighting. I don't want to sell it with the name of IMAX,
sure.
but that's linked to India. So if I want to do in Europe, I want to give a new name. So I've already made a website,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be only online store, not like India. We have a demo room there.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
we'll only go for expos
Yeah.
here, one expo in Frankfurt here,
Okay.
and we will have an online store probably in next 4 5 months.
Cool.
I should be at least have around 50 odd products to
Mm-hmm.
start with.
And this is lighting for sets like concert
This
sets,
is for
DJ
concerts, it's
sets,
for
everything.
clubs, it's for
Mm-hmm.
wedding parties or
Okay.
venues, clubs, event companies,
Sure.
whatever series.
Podcast,
But
things
my
like this.
idea
Yeah.
is also to provide solutions to my friends around who are running other series,
Mm-hmm.
to give them solution that they can buy a set of things which I think which they would normally require, or I can or my company can rent them in some way. I'm thinking about those solutions
Understood.
for people to save some money.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Okay. So the business from China now is coming to Europe. And I want to ask you this question. I ask every guest that I have on the show. Um, we all walk through life, we all pass through each other, and we never really get to stop and understand who someone is that might be sitting next to us or something like this, right? And not that that might be very important, but I think what brings us all together is when we can understand what we have in common, right? More or less. So my question to you is, what would you say your essence is? If someone could take something from you, from Mike, and say, okay, I know this guy because I really know
Experience,
him, you know?
life experience.
What would be what is your essence? What would you say your essence is?
Uh, I don't know. That depends on person what they can take from me. That's their choice.
So you think
What
you
I have to offer them is
yes.
my experience
Mm-hmm.
in whatever topic we're talking about. It doesn't. I'm not perfect, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's right or wrong. But I try to give an honest opinion about to my friends if they're
Mm-hmm.
talking to me. If they need some suggestions or we're just having a normal discussion. I'm talking from my heart. I'm talking from my experiences. Some of my younger friends, again, when I say younger, that doesn't mean I'm old.
Talking to me. Yeah.
Some of my, I mean, like very younger friend, if I try to tell them things which nobody was telling me back then about life, about love, about relationships, the truth, the hard truth,
Mm-hmm.
which they need to listen. Probably they can. If I tell them, probably they will listen because people don't listen to their parents.
So yeah. Until someone reinforces what their parents was
People
telling
know
them.
people will learn
Mm-hmm.
only when they get hurt
Yeah.
from their experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I tell them, they will still do it. But the chances are at least they know. I try to make it try to try to tell them like there are things there are they need to know about life like this thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Anything else that you would like to tell the audience before we end? Maybe a promo, maybe a tag.
No, I'm not here for a
Okay.
promo. I'm here to just talk to you
Okay,
about
okay.
life.
Well, it's been great sitting down with you.
Thank
It's
you.
been great talking to you, getting to know a little bit more about you. And I appreciate you again
Thank you.
having the time. This is Mike King Gorov, but that's not his name anymore.
GRV is
GRV.
yeah.
What's the
That's
name?
house music.
For That House Music series. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.
And I'll be seeing you later.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate you.
Another Dander production.